I hurt my back this week at work, and I came up just laying here in bed thinking, what can I share with you that I've been learning while laying here in bed? And so I want to share this with you today about your triggers. Can I tell you about one thing, if you're aware of it, will change your life forever? I read this book right here. It's called How to Pray After You've Kicked Your Dog. And it's about God's grace and it's about God's love and different stuff, but there's more to it. There's more to it. I want you to figure out what caused you to kick the dog in the first place. And so I want to share with you a few things that if you're aware of will change your life forever. This one thing alone can empower you to live a better life, have better relationships, and just loving yourself. It will help you out so much. But it's the awareness, listen, it's the awareness of the triggers and why you react the way you do. When I found out the way I reacted in life, one of the greatest things that helped me out with helping people and all that ministerial work I did for so many years. But when I found out my triggers and I worked on them and I found out why I have those triggers, then what happens is you have greater empathy for yourself and for others. Now, for others is really key. When I went through a lot of, let's say, counseling or self-empowerment in my first divorce, when I went through that, it was easier for me to empathize with my ex-wife because it was like I saw the pain in me and I saw the triggers in me and I could see the triggers in her. And it helped me out so much. It was amazing what that did for me. Knowing why I was a mess at the time and helped me figure out why she was a mess. Now, did I go and tell her and say, I know why you're a mess? No, you don't do that. But it helps you on the inside to love other people because you know and see their triggers or their patterns. Knowing your triggers can help you with self-improvement in the way that you can help yourself. Because listen, you've always said, put the mask on first, before you on the airplane, put your mask on first before you help anybody else. And that's the truth in this. If you can figure out your triggers and why you react the way you do, and they would less react the way they do. If you knew your triggers, you could help them with yours by not reacting to them. You understand? So that awareness really does help. Knowing your triggers help you to better stabilize your emotions because, an argument takes two. So if we figure out our triggers and our emotions, we can, I wouldn't say share them with anybody else, but you can, if you held back on them, that when you have an argument and if one of you stops arguing, one of you stops being the aggressor, that the other one slows down and it helps the argument itself. And it takes the fizzle out of it. You know what I mean? You see, when I was going through that divorce, there was a lot of arguments over children, over money, over what I should pay her and all that kind of stuff. You know that, all that stuff. So when I stopped with the arguments, when I could see that what she was saying was pushing my buttons, pushing the buttons, when I saw that, I could not retaliate anymore. I didn't have to retaliate. I saw her pain and I just stopped with the whole, I got to win this situation. I just stopped and went, okay, let's come to an agreement, and everything just slowed down. It built a better relationship between us in the long run. When I started to agree with her and just say, it just helped me when I knew my triggers and I knew why I get mad, why I get angry, why I get sad. Then and the reason behind it, it helped out so many different relationships with my mom, my dad at the time, everybody, and it just helped me in life all out. And one of the biggest things it did for me, I had a whole lot less regret. You think about the regrets in your life. You said something to somebody, you did something to somebody, or whatever it may have been. There was a reason behind it. And so when you learn to know your triggers and just shut your freaking mouth, it just helps the whole situation. It helps you not have the regrets of saying the wrong thing or doing the wrong thing. and you have a lot more peace in your life. So knowing your triggers is not keep on pulling the trigger. It's about not is putting the gun down and just living a peaceful life, and just kind of surrender to it all. And it really dramatically changes your life on the inside. It gives you a peace that you never had before. You know what I mean? It's amazing. So today, just learn your triggers. I learned the ask why, you know? So how I learned my triggers was knowing the voice that lives in you. Your higher self, God, Jesus, whatever you feel that you want to call that voice on the inside. The divine, that's how I kind of keep it all across the same board, the divine. But when you hear the voice of the divine and it reveals to you why, Dale, you feel you're a bad dad. And that's why you react to your children that way sometimes. So when I started with different affirmations from myself and how I'm a good dad, I really am a good dad. But if I just change what I thought about myself, and knowing the triggers that triggered me off and knowing why I had the triggers, then it like closes the whole book on that. It's like we'll call it the devil has no power anymore over your life, right? Your ego has no power over your life anymore. So in all that, learn your triggers today. Learn the voice of the divine, and they can help you. I say they because so many different people think it's somebody different on the other side. And well, we can say near-death experiences in that field. I can say that people that have passed on have talked to me. I don't know. You can say whatever you want. Whoever. It could be your lost ancestors if you're American Indian. Have a great, wonderful day. And remember, I love you, and just keep tripping on and know your triggers, and your life will change.